Here we go. Here comes another review from Swift Pours. Let me grab my glass. What do you think I'm going to pick? Bam! Penelope Rio 25901. That is this year's brand new batch. I'm going to pour a little sip in there, and then give you guys some notes. Pow! So, Penelope Rio's batch 25901. This is this year's release. It just hit Missouri probably 2 weeks ago and hit Kansas very hard this past week, and that's how I was actually able to obtain this bad boy. If you guys are curious, I do have the 24901, which is last year's batch, and I will give you guys some notes on differences between this batch and that batch as well in this video. So, here we go. Penelope Rio, batch 25901. It is finished in honey and Amburana barrels. It's a double cast finish. It is a 98 proofer. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's hit the nose. The nose for me is just a giant honey bomb. You get a little bit of Amburana, but for me it's just a honey bomb. Like, you smell the jar of honey. Maybe some woodiness in there. Yeah. That's what I'd say. I'd say honey and a little bit of woodiness. Nothing crazy. Let's get into the taste. That's really good. There's Amburana and honey, so keep that in mind. I am not a huge Amburana fan. I've had some that are super brutal and very, very Amburana forward, and that's just not my jam. I'm not a huge Amburana person. This is very, very good. To me, it's got a lot more honey than it does the Amburana. So for me, I tasted a hint of Amburana up front, but a blast of honey, and it's sweet, and then it kind of soaks into a woody honey taste with a little bit of vanilla, I would say, and the Amburana just sits on the back end very, very faintly. Yeah, I'm a fan. That's not bad. Let's go with the finish. It's very short, the finish is. You're sipping a 98 proofer. It's not going to be crazy. It's not going to be super in-depth, but it's very, very good. It's light. It's sweet. It's definitely a dessert-style bourbon. For me, it just comes out way more honey than anything. I would say up front you get the most Amburana, and then the more you talk or hit your tongue against your lips or kind of taste it on your tongue, that's when you pull more honey, in my opinion. A little bit of oakiness, not super bold, but it definitely sits there on the back end, especially with the Amburana. I'd say the Amburana oaks sit in the back. The honey is very prominent forward. Your finish will last maybe under 10. I mean, it's definitely under 10 seconds. Nothing insane. The super good. Price and availability. I don't know. They've been actually They've been very much more common than last year's batch. They seem to be popping up everywhere. I was able to find one for $83 before tax. I think it was $89 after tax, which is phenomenal. That's the best price I've actually heard of around here. Most people, I guess, are spending about $99, $100, and then after tax paying $110. Secondary, when it's right now is coming down, I'd say right now is about $145 to $160. When it was first coming out, obviously it was like $175. It's definitely coming down. Now, I did say I was going to compare last year's batch to this year's batch. This last year's batch, I really like it, but it's too Amburana and it's very, very sweet. I like it, but it pushes my Amburana boundary. It's very good, but it's so much more sweet and a little bit more syrupy than this is. This kind of has a syrupy texture, but this is like syrup sugar blast and with Amburana and a tiny. Compared to this has less honey than this does. This, to me, the honey comes out more prominent. This, the Amburana, comes out more prominent and is a whole lot sweeter. This one is perfect because it's not over-the-top sweet like the 24901. I enjoy the 25 better than the 24, and I have blinded it, and 25 has won. Again, everybody's palate's different. I'm not wrong, you're not wrong, but if you don't want it to be super over the top sweet, you're going to like the 25901. If you like super sweet, 24,901 is definitely what you're going to enjoy the best. Not saying you're not going to enjoy both, but if I had to give you a recommendation on just based on what your palate senses or sensory notes come off to me as, if you like super mega sweet, 24. If you like, yeah, I like sweet, but I don't want it to be holy cow, I'd go 25. Super, super good. Both range around the same price. I'm pretty sure people are batch butchering last year's release because everybody now wants to do what I'm doing and compare last year's to this year's. So last year's is probably going up on secondary. But they run the same MSRP wise, about $79.99, or I mean, my price at $83 wasn't bad at all. So keep your heads around that price range for sure. But if it's something you really want to chase, that's on you. That's your price point. And that's what you're willing to spend. Go for it. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Swift Pours. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hopefully it's helpful for you guys, and you guys can base it off of last year's batch. Thank you guys. Cheers.